and shop local at Spencer Cash Saver.
Carpenter's General Store in Spencer has been saving you money and giving you the best selection in Roane County since 1996. We have an amazing selection of domestic, import, and craft beers, ciders, and wines at the absolute lowest prices anywhere. And if we don't have it, we'll get it for you. We have a sporting goods section with all the right fishing gear, locally crafted lures, and live bait. And we also carry a great selection of firearms and ammunition. And once again, if we don't have it, we'll get it for you with the lowest prices guaranteed. We're open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. So come see us at 746 Arnoldesburg Road in Spencer. It's a convenience store with a whole lot more.
And a good Saturday evening to all of you listeners out there in Radio Land and Facebook Land and YouTube Land, anybody who may be listening in on our streaming service on our website. This is Andrew Miller, Drew as they call me, and we're here for another episode of the HomeGrown Show. I tell you what, last year during the summertime, I struggled to get shows in. Got 3 of them in, but I wanted to get a whole lot more. So far, I got a show in early with Eric Barker. That was back on the 13th or 14th of June. And I got a real gem dropped in my lap officially here today. And I didn't know that I was going to get this young man in studio, and the stars aligned. Good things happen. When you think good things happen. Saw this young man at Folklore last year at some point. I don't remember exactly when. I may ask him about it. And I said to, I believe his mom, maybe, I said, I got to get this guy on the HomeGrown Show before he blows up. And so I want to introduce you all to our very own Jonny Shedron. Johnny, what's up, dude?
Hey.
Welcome. Johnny is from Ohio. Is that correct?
Yep.
How far away from here are you?
It was a 3-hour drive.
So you're...
Yeah.
I feel even worse now. On the 4th of July weekend, I got this kid to go all the way 3 hours away from his home to come into this show. Well, I hope you have a good time with this, Johnny. You brought, of course, your sister, Grace, is here. We might actually hear from her. I did hear her sing during your show at Folklore. And your mom, Autumn's here as well. She's not on camera. Grace has got a little bit of room there. I think you can see the left shoulder is about all you can see of Grace. But Johnny is 17 years old. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
So you are a young musician. Well, of course, I guess these days.
Yeah, it's whatever, you know. Started young, still is young, technically. Too young to do anything, I guess. But.
You're not too young to play music, I'll tell you that. Let's talk about that before we get you to start singing some songs here tonight. You're 17 years old. You've been gigging now for a good bit. You've already now, in fact, you just released on all streaming services a 3-song set list of your originals.
Yes, I did. Call them Ombre as the title. And, I went and recorded them. I wrote them, no AI. That was fun. But I got
That's a
asked
thing
that.
these days, I
did
forgot.
my favorite one at my talent show at, West Holmes High School where I go. And, someone was like, you did that without AI? I was like, yeah. Shocked they asked that because I was like, I didn't think about that. Like, I could have done that.
Yeah.
I didn't. But love those songs. I really do. But I never thought anybody would, want them recorded or, want to listen to them, And, I would do a gig or an open mic and I'd play the song and they were like, that's really good. You have that on Spotify? And I was like, it's just one person. It's not going to have any effect at all. But after that, it was the talent show of all things. I had so many of my peers. It was the peers that got me. It was like, you need to release that. I would listen to it, and I have people listen to it, and it just makes me so proud. It's like, wow.
A youngster like you that's already on Spotify. Where did it begin for you, though? I mean, when did you pick up music? When did you pick up the guitar?
Oh, music came first before guitar, if that makes sense.
Yeah, always.
With my mom, and grandpa and dad, all different types of music. Mom was Fleetwood Mac and, good
I'm
stuff.
digging that.
And Dad was Creed and Godsmack, and Grandpa was Eddie Rabbit and Blue Suede. I got it all, But I loved it all. There was nothing where I was like, turn this off. It was all great. Soaked it all up. And first got into music sixth grade band. It was like playing the trumpet. I saw this dude in Savannah, Georgia on this vacation. He's out on the street and he's playing a trumpet. It's the coolest thing I ever saw. Ever. Like I was hypnotized. It was great. I'm just like I'm playing that for sure.
Yeah.
You know, so sixth grade band starts, and that was my COVID year, 2020.
Oh
so
man. Oh,
that,
you got to bring up that stuff again.
Exactly.
I forgot.
Yeah, I hate to do it. It's not an excuse, so I do it as like it happens. So like I didn't get that good of a start, and then eighth grade I joined the band again, kind of knowing what's up. Now I love trumpet. It's favorite thing to play. It's not my album or whatever. But during that time, during COVID, was like turning 12, and
this is so crazy. Like, yeah, turning 12.
Yeah, and my grandpa got me a cheap hand-me-down guitar, and just was like, hey, you're smart, you can learn this. And so I tried, but I didn't realize how much upkeep they needed. With the humidity and the tuning and the strings. I was like, this is a lot. So I let it collect dust, and every time I did try to pick it up, it sounded horrible. Well, I didn't know it wasn't in tune. So I thought everything I was doing was wrong, no matter what I did. But it was out of tune. So I tuned it when I was like 13, got brand new strings. I was like, all right, here we go. Started learning songs, and probably the first song I learned was like Hallelujah or something.
Wow.
Like nothing, it was not advanced at all. I played like two snippets. It was like... And now it's like nothing.
It's exactly how you started.
And I watched a video where I was like, Mom, record this, and it sounded just like that. And I tried singing, and I was like, oh, that's really bad. She's like, but you were starting out. I was like, yeah, I was starting out. So I didn't pick it up immediately. I was not, a prodigy at all. But I just kept practicing, and like having that family support of like, nobody told me like, oh, that's awful, it's not for you.
Yeah.
It was all just keep practicing. And that's all anybody really needs to do for music.
Well, obviously you had some talent musically.
Oh, yeah, like there's some that's like, I don't want to say I was born ready, but like I was surrounded by music.
Yeah.
I knew what was good, but I think just the persistence of just keep practicing is really what helped.
Did you get hooked on the guitar pretty quickly though?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
When I really I was open mic. When I started getting paid, really. I hate to say that because
it's never a bad thing.
It's so much fun. It really is so much fun. But I was like, I can make money off of this. Like, this is my main instrument, even though I love other ones. Like, I love playing the piano. I love playing my trumpet. And I love so many other things. Harmonica's fun. There's so much else that's, like, so much fun. But guitar is my main. And, like, not just because it's my job, but, like, it's my job because I have fun with it. And I don't even look at it as a job.
Yeah.
It's just how I make my money, And guitar is the best. It really is. It's so much fun. And I'm not even that good. I'm just good enough to perform. I love performing.
Let's say this. When I saw you and when I heard you, I was immediately shocked. I was like, this kid is good. And I, at that point, didn't know how young you were. You look young, but I didn't know until... I talked to a friend of the family, and he was like, yeah, he's 17. He's 16 at the time or whatever it was. I was like, okay, this kid's got something really, really special. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about your interest in music, where you're at right now. Obviously, you're still very young, but you've just released some original stuff, which is always fun. And again, this kid is as busy as just about anybody I can imagine, gigging all the time. Glad I caught him, even though sorry, Mom and sister, that you guys had to come down 3 hours away from home on the 4th of July weekend. Johnny, I'm going to let you play us a song here. What do you have for us?
Oh, my favorite one. Probably, I think this was one of the first I learned. Johnny Cash was always in my heart, so I can't go that deep at all. So I mess around with it, but I found a version that suits me. So this is a little bit of Folsom Prison.
All right, here comes Jonny Shedron.
Here we go. All right. Well, I hear the train coming, rolling proud, bending, down, seen the sunshine since I don't know when. But I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time is dragging on. Oh, I hear that train coming, on down to San Antonio, yeah. Oh, and I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you ever play with guns. Well, I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. Oh, now I hear that train coming. I hang my head and I cry. Yeah. Rich folks eating in them fancy diner cars. I bet they're drinking coffee, bet they're smoking big cigars. Well, I knew I had it coming. Well, I knew I can't be free. Yeah. Oh, that train keeps moving, and that's what tortures me. Rail track in mind. You know, I move it on a little farther down the line, out of it far from Folsom Prison. That's where I wanna stay. I let that lonesome whistle oh blow my blues away.
That is Jonny Shedron and his version of Folsom Prison Blues. I enjoy that. I tell you what, one thing I notice and I remember about your show, it's a little easier to hear your voice perfectly here when you're 10 inches away from me. But you have got a really interesting voice. There's a little bit of like echoey sound to it. There's a little bit of raspiness without being raspy yet. You're only 17.
Smoking, yeah.
He plays in some bars. I don't know if he's picked up that or not, but wonderful song though. Wonderful version of that song. And obviously, if you're playing out, you have to play covers.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What type of music do you play the most of?
Definitely country and old, like, I don't want to say soft rock, but that acoustic rock. Mm-hmm. And, you know, like anything that can be played on an acoustic, you know. But the biggest thing with, like, what songs you play, you can play anything if you make it yours, you know. So, like, a lot of songs are easy to copy, you know, like you can do Wonderwall all day, you know. You know, but I do that last because that's, like, the most cliche. But I can do more, guys, besides Wonderwall. But, like, it's a great song to play, big crowd pleaser, but, like, you know, you gotta do crowd pleasers because everybody's gotta be into it, you know, but you gotta do songs that really showcase what you can play, you know, and, like, you even have, like, I like throwing in songs that I like, you know, even usually when the crowd's not paying too much attention, because, like, I like playing jazz, you know, fun stuff. Ooh. That's relaxing, calming, but nothing, I don't expect no one to cheer standing ovation for that, but I still like playing it, you know, so, but, like, I really try to play everything because there's always somebody in the crowd who's going to like that. And if you try to please everybody in that sense, you know, you're not. But, you know, just play what sounds good for you. Yeah. You know, because there are songs where, like, I know how to play, but I can't do it well.
It doesn't work well with your style. Really.
Yeah. Exactly that. Because what's a song I love? What's Up by the Four Non-Blondes.
I
love that song.
Sticking back to my days.
Cannot sing that to save my life. Because, you know, she goes crazy, and it's like, I can't do that justice. But some songs, like, I have to change. Like Folsom Prison. Yeah. You know, because, like, I could do it real slow and luggy, like Johnny Cash rocks it, you know. But, like, he's Johnny Cash. You know? you don't want to try to imitate.
Exactly.
You know, if you try to imitate it, if you try to imitate it, sound like the person, you're not gonna sound like them. You know. At that point, it's a cover band, and, like, that's not you. So it's like you gotta, like, I like doing Three Dog Night, but, like, I put it in my you know, arena. I put it, keep it in my league. You know, so nothing. I love getting loud or, like, and stuff like that, but I keep in my limit. You know, I always try to push out of it because, you know, the more you know. But I love doing Elvis. I love doing, like I said, Johnny Cash, folky stuff. Country's always fun, new, old. You know, it's always great. You know, but Yeah, anything that sounds good.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. And he's got a lot to choose from. And again,
Yeah.
he's obviously got the ability to play a bunch of different stuff. We're going to play some of his original stuff, though, throughout the evening here. But before we do, I'm going to play. Here's the part of this that you may not be familiar with this show. I'm going to play some other artists who are local or have local ties. And I'm going to have you give your thoughts on it after the song is over. Speaking of youngsters, this young lady was the first one to send me anything when I asked for people to send stuff. Actually, it was her grandfather.
Oh.
Her grandfather is the head girls softball coach in Roane County. She lives up in the Pittsburgh area. And so I've got 2 CDs, but now I've got her stuff on Spotify, so it's easy to get copyright infringement coming up here on Facebook. I'm sure that's going to happen. This young lady started playing out and about when I think she was 13. And she is just now, I believe, 18, 19 years old. So you guys got something in common. She's been gigging out a lot. She's been playing a lot of original songs. She's got a bunch of stuff on Spotify, folks. I hope you enjoy another song from Gabriella Salvucci. This one is called Thin Ice. I better turn on the thing before I play it. Here it is, Thin Ice. Gabriella Salvucci, that was called Thin Ice. Jonny Shedron is in studio with us. He is our live guest. Johnny, what do you think?
That was great. I really dig that. Really, the whole thing. Because with my recording, I could only afford me and my guitar. So, but that's all I had. And like I've played with like people at my school, you know, close friends of mine who are also wicked talented, you know, but they don't pursue it at all. I don't pressure them to, but I know they could. And I have a drummer friend who's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I bet he would appreciate that work. That was great. All of that. No, the drums in that, everything.
Let me ask you about that. You obviously, you've been playing out for a bit. You said you talked about doing open mics. When did that change from open mics to actually gigging?
So open mics started when I, branching out, went from 10 to 20 songs knowing, and I wanted to practice them in front of a crowd, and like that was like the best way to do it. So they said, and it really was. It taught me how to deal with the crowd in a short amount of time. It's like it's ready, set, go. Do these 3 songs, and like if you mess up, you mess up. And really, every crowd of open mic I went to was the best crowd. Yeah. No matter what you did, it's like they appreciate you were there, young or old. But where I did it at, there was this place called the Rusticor in Coshocton, Ohio. Sadly, they're closing their doors. Couldn't bring in enough, but they were very strong in the community. They appreciated the community, and I really appreciated that. But they offered me, they said, "Can you play 2 hours?" I said, "Yes, I can," finally. And so they offered me my very first gig, $100, 2 hours. I said, all right, sweet. And did it ever move to 3 hours? Did it get up to 3 hours? It did not. All they wanted was 2 hours for $100, and I was like, I can do that. And it became, I was finally on a monthly schedule with them.
Yeah.
I grew, more in my music, and, just crowd. I had lots of support in my family, local family. I have family down here, obviously, but like, and they support me when I'm down here, which is great. But the family up there comes support, so I could always bring a crowd, and that's like what the restaurant wants, of course.
They want people.
So, exactly, just that. So, they loved having me because like I brought people, so. But it was still fun, so it really branched out to that, and then it was me trying to get local in Millersburg, because there are places in there, and I really wanted to go. So I went to a restaurant called the Cider Pressed and just asked for tips and a meal, and they were happy to do that, because people stayed longer, really appreciated me. Then I asked at first if I could just get $100 for 3 hours, and they were like, "Oh, we'd love to. Let's get you monthly." I was like, "Oh, that's amazing." And then a place called Sunny Slope Winery in Big Prairie. It's right outside Millersburg. Great winery. And they came to me saying, "Hey, we had someone cancel. Would you like to pick up? You can do 3 hours, right?" I said, "Yeah, easy." So I did my best to do 3 hours. And then I finally had my first official gig there, and I was sick as a dog when I went. I had high temperatures, horrible, every song was raspy because of how bad my throat was. The worst headache I've ever had. But I did it. Blood, sweat, and tears through it, and it was so much fun looking back. But really, I was going through.
You're struggling at the time.
I was like, "Thank you guys for having me." They were like, "Oh no, you did wonderful." I was like, "I didn't, but thank you." So it's nice having that young support. People appreciate that you're young, and that really got me down for a bit, you know, like they only liked me because I'm 15 at the time, you know, and I was, you know, and I was ready just to like not do anything, you know, I'll just have guitar, you know, and it was my mom who was like, you know what, they love you because you're 15, but if you keep doing this, they'll love you when you're 30.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it's like you just
wise words,
right? She does it at the worst times too, but but she really pushed me to do it, and I realized like, and I've heard like past videos, you know, where I'm like, I'm really liking this, what I'm hearing, and it's me, you know, so I've definitely been growing, and I'm still trying to grow, you know, so that when I am, you know, 30, it's like people, wow, he's great, not just because he's young, you know, it's just because he's just great.
Well, you're going to be well-versed, well-practiced, that's for sure, because you've been gigging out a good bit. You had a comment on there, Amber and Kevin Leedy?
Yep, that's my aunt.
Said, proud of you, Jonny Shedron. Speaking of somebody who gigs a lot, and this guy spends a lot of time in the Ohio area, now maybe not over in Millersville, maybe, I don't know, but this guy just played, I believe, day one of Regatta. I think he was out there, yeah. So I'm going to give you another chance to listen to another local guy. This guy's name is Corey Hager, and he has a song he's been recording in Nashville lately, and this song was actually recorded in Nashville. This one we got in our rotation here at the radio station. It's Corey Hager with Honky Tonk Addiction.
Blue-collar living. I grew up in the holler with a trailer hitch. We didn't have much but some old vinyl records, and Daddy turned me on to his favorites. Call it a honky-tonk addiction, Hank Williams prescription. Granddaddy used to blame for my family tradition. A sad song neon cheating hard left me in this condition, and now I'm thankful for my honky-tonk addiction. The wild side of life was the beginning. First hit of white lightning gave me a whip. It's a lost highway once the wheels start spinning. Mama tried, but Daddy raised me not for quitting. Honky-tonk addiction, Hank Williams prescription. Granddaddy is to blame for my family tradition. A sad song neon cheating hard left me in this condition, and now I'm thankful for my honky-tonk addiction. Prop me up beside the jukebox if I die. T-O-N-K-Y. Don't we raise 'em up high? Cheers to the night. Call it a honky-tonk addiction, Hank Williams prescription. Granddaddy is to blame for my family tradition. A sad song neon cheating hard left me in this condition, and now I'm thankful for, I'm so thankful for that thick smoke Jack Cotone's got me itching, and now I'm thankful for my honky-tonk addiction. My honky-tonk addiction. But some old vinyl records, and Daddy turned me on to his favorites.
That is Corey Hager, and I tell you what, that guy's been grinding for quite a while now. I talked to him, about 3-4 months ago, and I was asking him, how many shows do you play of a year, and I think last year or the year before that he had done 246 shows.
Whoa.
And he traveled a lot to do those shows. I tell you what, it's one of those things that early on in a career you just got to go where the music is. And we're talking with young Jonny Shedron from Millersburg, Ohio. I'm going to get things right eventually. Jonny, I do appreciate you driving the 3 hours here to spend time with us here tonight. We were talking before the break about you actually going out and playing shows, and obviously that has kicked off huge. How are you able to manage that with also being a high school student?
Oh boy. So the summer helped a lot, and I was so unorganized. Like, I was always like, we're so wing it and last minute. Like, this was wing it last minute, but it works, you know.
It did work.
So that's just the problem. It keeps working. But no, I got myself a calendar, and like during like the end of the school year, like is where like the kids started picking up again. You know, spring comes, and so you know, writing everything I could down there. Then summer picked up. I'm just booked every weekend, loving it too. You know, but with school, it does suck because it's like Friday nights football. You know.
Yeah.
Marching band. That's why. So it's like all those Fridays are gone, but it's still like you're still in high school, so you still gotta have that experience.
Yeah.
And like I'm still getting better from doing all that, you know. So like still having my Saturdays are still great, you know. And like I'll be down here for the Black Walnut Festival. That's during the school year.
So exciting.
Know? So yeah, that was great.
That's actually where I first heard about you.
Yeah.
You did not have a set gig for the Black Walnut Festival last year.
I did not.
Let's talk about that real quick. What did you do?
So, what was it, 2 years ago, I came down here. I was in Millersburg, you know, just on the street busking, and me and my case and a guitar, and it was fun, so much fun. And then my Uncle Ryder and Aunt Buffy were both like, hey, you should come down here and do that this weekend. I was like, what's this week? It's called the Black Walnut Festival. It's huge. I'm like, I'm sure it's great. All right. Come down here, and it's huge. I was like, wow. Had a blast playing, and, you know, played for, like, probably, 6 hours a day? You know, like, repeat, of course.
Yeah,
but, like,
yeah.
it was great. Had so much fun in those 4 days. So I came back again the next year. But the first year, I did that. The owner of Folklore Pizza, it's Chad Kuhn.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Chad Kuhn came up and said, hey, I might have a restaurant. I want you to play there if this happens. I was like,
Nice.
yeah, sounds good. Kind of forgot about it. I think he did too. And then we, like, you know, weeks apart would reply to each other on Facebook Messenger, you know, when this is going to happen. And then we finally got it scheduled. And yeah, I played there and at the end, you know, John Morgan and his band showed up. That was cool. Got to meet him. But it just lined up perfect, you know, so had a set gig there, and that was phenomenal. And then I came back, when was it? Early summer or sometime. I came back earlier this year just because, you know, I had a free weekend. I really wanted to come again because it was that much fun, you know, and love good pizza too.
Yeah, that's not bad to eat there.
Yeah, you know, so yeah, I love coming down here a lot and playing. But yeah, it started out in that arcade in Spencer.
He was busking, folks, and if you don't know what busking is, it's basically just setting up on a street corner, wherever you are, and just playing. Just starting to play. Some people do it with equipment. Some people just go out, put their guitar out, and start playing. And that's what Jonny did. And what we said, the arcade, we're talking about the old First Neighborhood Bank building, now the City Center building, the arcade that runs from the Bowman Street parking lot to Market Street. You just set up in there and started playing.
Yes, I did. It was great acoustics, like everything. You could hear from one end to the other. And it was just so much fun. Like,
did you have anybody stop by and say, what are you doing here? Or was most people just good?
So many people were waving, tipping, and like, what's this? Where are you from? What's your name? Like, it was great. It was just so much. The people you meet doing that. Like,
I wondered how Mom felt about you just coming down randomly.
Oh, she
was cool with it?
She is cool with it. Yeah, I don't want to say she's cool because she's not good, but she's great. Yeah, she sends me to the street, so... But,
you got to earn your keep these days. Well, Jonny, we're going to play another song here by my first artist on the HomeGrown show, and then we're going to get into one of your originals. I'm looking forward to that. But in the vein of singer-songwriters, this guy, man, he was just playing by himself, and he wasn't even playing a whole lot when I got him on the show. I'm not saying I'm taking full credit for this. I'm just saying I may have pushed him in the direction of continuing to play a lot more music. Ryan Erickson, who was my first guest on the Homegrown Show, decided that he was going to play a bunch, started playing a whole lot, got hooked up with another guy from Roane County. They formed a band called Dalcord, and Dalcord is everywhere right now, and they are in the midst of a pretty meteoric rise. They've already played on the Mountain Stage area, not during Mountain Stage, but they're going to be there pretty soon, I'm telling you. But this was when Ryan was by himself. I always love the singer-songwriter style of stuff. And this is an original from Ryan Erickson. It's called Love to Lose.
I lost my mind trying to find the freedom I made up in my own damn mind. I call out to God, place me on hold every time. How I wound up here, well, I do not know. I try to forget the ones I let go, but men like me were bound, end up alone. Been living untamed, living unhinged. Time won't heal what the mind won't mend. And I know there's times where the bottle's been my only friend. The banjo I placed from 1982, it speaks to me as I sing to you. And I know I'm wrong for the things I've been putting us through. I love to lose, love to lose. I told you I'd stay, and I up and ran. I'll probably die at the cost of my hands. The cracks in the mirror don't reveal how broken I am. And I promised you I'd sober up. Now I spend my nights drinking lies from a cup. It's hard to keep going, you can't find the strength to stand. I've been living untamed, living unhinged. Time won't heal what the mind won't mend. Know that there's times where the bottle's been my only friend. Banjo I placed from 1982, it speaks to me as I sing to you. And I know I'm wrong for the things I've been putting us through. I love to lose, love to lose. We've been living untamed, living unhinged. Time won't heal what the mind won't mend. And I know there's times where the bottle's been my only friend. Well, the banjo I placed from 1982, it speaks to me as I sing to you. As I know I'm wrong for the things I've been putting us through. But I love to lose, love to lose. I love to lose.
That was Ryan Ryan Erickson, now a member, as we talk about, of the group called Dalcord. Ryan was my first ever guest here on the Homegrown Show. Boy, has he had a meteoric rise. Looking forward to seeing what happens with those guys as the years go by. I'm really looking forward to what happens to the young man who is across from me right now. And this is Jonny Shedron from Millersburg, Ohio. I'm going to get it right every time now. Messed up your sister's name. Speaking of that, by the way, your sister is in the studio with us. Grace is back there.
Say hi, Grace.
Hi.
Okay, and she brought, just so you all know, and I'm not pressuring, I'm not saying you have to, but when Johnny was down here for the show during a break, Grace got up and sang, and I was like, whoa. And then I found out from Ben over here, he's like, yeah, younger sister. I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? The talent runs deep in the Shedron family, let's just say that. She also brought a ukulele, so I'm just saying there may be a time when you see the pair on the air. Just say maybe.
Hey.
No pressure. No pressure at all. Talking with Jonny Shedron, 17 years old, and has been playing now for 5 years. I was trying to think, 12 years old when you got the guitar.
Yeah, so, 13, 5 years.
Jeez.
Wow, that's been 5 years.
Yeah, you've been playing a lot then,
Yes,
obviously. Still in high school, talking about the stresses of trying to play and then also be a high school student, also during football season be a member of the marching band and finding the time to do it all. You have.
It's great.
And you've been very, very good at it. We heard you play a cover song to begin. Let's talk about this Ombre thing that you got going on. You've got 3 songs now that you released just a couple of days ago on Spotify, correct?
Yep. 4 days ago, July 1st, they released. I recorded them middle of June. You know, I wanted like a memorable date to like, okay, this marks the date. So, yeah, the first...
Just a random March 13th or something like that.
I almost did. I was like, well, I could just do it, this Friday. But no, tried to make some build up, but social media stuff is hard. But, it was still fun. I got a lot of support fast, so it was really great seeing that.
Well, how long did it take you to get this produced, these 3 songs? Because I know it's a real hard thing to do, to get a song, just one song produced.
So writing them was, whole process. You got to find the songs you like, got to get it the way you like, and like I feel like I change them a lot. So it's like, especially when I do it live, it's like, oh, we're doing it this way tonight. But recording was a lot less stressful than I thought it would be. I had a blast recording, and granted, it was me and my guitar, so I wasn't yelling at some bassist, like, hey, get this right, But so like, and it was relatively cheap, so I'm told. Because it cost me $600 in my own.
That is relatively cheap, I will say.
So I heard it was great. He's like 3 songs, you and your guitar. I can do this.
Yeah.
It's like great. And again, he was, I think a wizard doing stuff I could not do. So it was actually a blast getting them recorded. I had no regrets doing that. There was no stress at all. I was really comfortable in there. And. Yeah, it was just great.
The goal is to be comfortable when you're recording something,
exactly.
obviously, that you're going to put out. Let me ask you, are you going to play a song from this, or are you going to play another original? It's your world. I'm just a squirrel over here.
No, I'll play this one. So this was the second song I did. Should have been the first, because I had to say this was the easiest one, because I was in there for 8 hours doing these 3 songs. And I was like, all right, here we go. So this one, definitely my most fun one. We were talking about being on the street a lot. And story behind this one, quickly, is I had this old man told me and said, boy, you need to go down to Tennessee. I was like, oh, how sweet. Thanks. And his wife went, I bet you got all the little bitty pretty girls after you. I was like, well, also how sweet. But so I'm just on the street, singing, like thinking that, just like that would be a cool song. So I did my best. So this is a song called Tennessee Jig, because it's the only thing I got. So
Jonny Shedron, Tennessee Jig. Yeah. All right, here you go, Bob.
Right on.
Well, I've been living it up down in Tennessee. I got all them little bitty pretty girls that hang around with me. But tell you, I've been doing just fine. So fine, yeah. Who would have thought you'd love a little Yankee boy like me? Well, them city girls, they can love you just fine. They hold you and kiss you all through your night. But then come the morning, you're nothing but dirt on their shoes. Well, son, let me tell you, haven't been around girl who'd even think about doing that to you. No. Yeah, I've been living it all down in Tennessee. I got all them little bitty pretty girls hanging around with me. I tell you, I've been doing just fine. Oh, who would have thought you'd love a little Yankee boy like me? Well, I've been on my way home.
Pardon.
Well, I'm heading down south, land of the pine. I'm thumbing my way down in North Carolina. That's not my song to sing no more. Oh, I've been living it up way down in Tennessee, but I've been waking up on the floor, yeah. Well, now I'm on my way home, back from Tennessee. Still got all them little bitty pretty girls are chasing after me. But tell you, I've been doing just fine. Yeah, I'm doing alright. But I don't know how you love a little Yankee boy like me. Well, I don't know how they made a rebel boy into me.
Fantastic. Jonny Shedron, that is the Tennessee Jig.
Yeah.
A Yankee boy like me. He's humble, Ma. He's humble. He's a humble guy. I'm just saying. It's good to have a good mom beside you, but it's even better to have a younger sis who's going to check you anytime you do get a little bit too big for the britches.
No. Yeah, sometimes it's just like, your head don't fit through the door. I'm like, I paid you too much now. But
that was a great song. Obviously, you hear a little bit of the blues kind of style in that. And just, I love that funky sound. And it fits your voice, obviously. You've obviously figured out what you're really good at.
That's definitely I'd say my favorite. Like that and jazz. They're close, but how different they are. Because I remember, like, starting out with guitar, you're learning, like, your cowboy chords, But once I really got, like, the picking and, like, the rocking, and, like, I was learning this Elvis song. I forget which one, but the guy on the YouTube video was like, all right, so here's what you do. And he's like... And I got that figured out finally, and I was like, that's amazing. And then he taught the chucking along, and I'm like... This is great, Yeah. So when I was like able to do that myself and like put my words to it, like it's my favorite song to sing.
It's opened up a lot of avenues.
Exactly. Like I found like that style for me. I melted right into that, And like it's just fun,
What I'm digging is I'm hearing like you feel like a seasoned veteran, but you're so not.
Yeah.
You're so new into this, and so when I hear you say, "Well, I heard this and I learned this real quick," and it's just you're learning it all and you're just soaking it all in like a big sponge, and you're going to start spitting out music like you're producing right now, which is so much fun to see.
I really hope to.
Yeah, and you're 17. Like I said, what will happen when you're 30 years old? Who knows?
Yeah.
You bring your sister into the band with you at that point completely.
Nice. No, I would love to, but
well, that's a great song, and again, that's part of the 3 song set that you have out on Spotify, out on. What are all the platforms? I know people just say go to all the platforms.
It is. So If you use Spotify, Apple Music, if you use Pandora, if you're on YouTube, you were on YouTube Music, Amazon Music, anything and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on there.
It's called Hombre, Hombre.
Yeah.
Got that one right.
Yep. You did.
I messed up a bunch of stuff, but I got that one right. We're going to listen to some more music from some local talent here, and I'm going to have Jonny Shedron tell me what he thinks about that. We're going to continue talking with this young man, and we are going to play some more originals from him. He's got some more coming up from that 3-disc set of Hombre. This guy right here, though, it's almost as if I don't play this stuff for the guests or anybody out there. This guy is probably still, if not my favorite, one of my favorite musicians. And he comes from Ripley, West Virginia, originally. Spent a lot of time in the Morgantown, Pennsylvania area, part of a group called Bare Feet and Company. And then went down to the Outer Banks for many years and played down there, gigged down there a bunch. Came back to Morgantown, came back to West Virginia, went back down. Crazy, crazy life for this guy, but he is one of my favorites. This guy's he's got pretty much everything I love. He's got the ability, the talent with the guitar. He's got a crazy good voice. All that stuff wrapped up in one. I hope he's not watching because he can be like, okay, enough of that, dude. That's enough of that. Anyways, this guy is from Ripley, West Virginia originally. His name is Matt McGuire, and this is Hard Lesson.
Heart get broken and you had no cure for your style. Mama, I know these words were meant for me, but I had to find out for myself how bad it could be. Yeah, I'm always getting into trouble. Oh, seem to find the bridge to burn. Lock the door, lose the keys. Don't wanna know what's best for me. When are they gonna see that it's mine? Boy, you better find your religion. Too many things in your life are running wild. Better sleep with one eye open, because the devil be behind you open, that you're gonna have a cure for your style. Preacher, I know these words were meant for me, but that old shaky fence line is where I'm gonna be. Yeah, I'm always getting into trouble. Always seem to find the bridge to burn. Lock the door, lose the key. Don't wanna know what's best for me. When are they gonna see that it's my hard lesson to learn? But I don't care, 'cause it's my lesson to learn. Maybe the water then throw me in the fire, 'cause I wanna feel all my little heart's desires. And when I'm down, don't show no concern. When I'm down, don't show no concern. When I'm down, don't show no concern. 'Cause it's my heart, my heart, my heart. It's my hard lesson to learn. I'm always getting lesson to learn.
Listen, I didn't even have to talk her into it. Got a surprise coming up at the end of the show. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I may have let the cat out of the bag a little bit when I said her. So that was Matt McGuire. Again, that was a great CD that he produced back in 2007 called Found. I'm telling you what, the guy was wonderful. I've got like 10 CDs of his, and 8 of the 10 are shows that another friend had recorded live with some equipment. And man, the guy's just good. Obviously, with all the extras, he's pretty awesome as well. But my favorite stuff's just he and his guitar. Speaking of he and his guitar, Jonny Shedron is my guest artist in studio. And I tell you what, Johnny, very impressed with your first original song, obviously, the Tennessee Jig. And he said you got 3 songs out on Ombre, which is on all I'm such an old man. I just know of Spotify. I know there's a whole bunch of any streaming music platform. Basically, there you go. But a great song that you had there. You were talking about how long it took for you and the money it took for you to actually produce that. What is next for you after you've gotten all of that done? But what is next as far as, are you doing more originals? Are you thinking about going back into the studio when you get a chance?
I would love to keep doing more music. I still have ideas for originals, but nothing like those 3 were like the 3.
Yeah.
That were always great. So if I could get more stuff that I just love, everybody else loves, because I have stuff I love, and it's like, oh, that's the but if I could get more songs, I would love to.
Yeah.
Like, I loved producing. I would go back to the same guy too, Redbird Studios.
Redbird Studios.
Redbird Studios. Yeah, it was great. Aaron Miller, little shout out. In New Philadelphia, Ohio.
Okay.
Really, I had so much fun. It was really great. And so I would do more. But next step is getting this senior year done, and then that's the next step. But, getting more gigs, and then finding out what's after high school. If I'm gonna do college. If I plan to teach college for sure.
Yeah.
If I do, I've looked into military. Not saying I'm doing it, but I've looked into it. I've looked into the Guard. I'm just seeing what my options are.
Lest we forget, he's still a high school student. Yeah. So going into his senior year. That's just amazing, the amount of work that you've already put into this thing called music. And it's not an easy thing to do. It's not sometimes it can be uncomfortable to step outside of yourself and do things and put yourself out there for people, because you know that you're putting yourself out there for the positive messages and for the detractors, and I'm sure there's always those.
Yes.
We try to avoid thinking about as much as humanly possible. So you really did a great way of segueing for me. I was going to ask you next, what is next for you after high school graduation? So you're going to get through this senior year in the marching band, obviously, for Friday Night Football. Yeah. You're going to still play music as you can. And then the next step is coming up at some point. Right. Is your mom worried at all about the next step? Is she freaking out about it?
I know she is, but she's the person I talk to all the time about it. It's like, what do I do? She's do what's right. It's like, that's why I'm asking. It's just every time I take a step, it's like, what are you doing? But no, it's but
you've got some time, all right. Yeah. You got a little bit of time. I'm not saying you got all the time in the world.
Yeah,
but you got at least a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of time to think about it. Well, we're going to give you time to think about what you're going to play next. I'm going to one more song here by a local artist. Speaking of Ohio again, there's a lot of Ohio connections here. Will Freed is from Calhoun County originally, and he has been playing in Columbus, in the Columbus area, or based out of Columbus, for the last few years. He sent me his information 2.5 years ago when I'd first mentioned that I might want to do this stuff. So he was the one that really got things in quickly. I hope that Will is still around somewhere. I haven't had any ability to contact Will Freed. I know he has a band, or did have a band. All I know is I enjoy his music. How about that? So this one is from Will Freed, and this one is called Come Run With Me. That was Will Freed with Come Run With Me. Hey, Will, if you're out there, if somebody is out there that knows Will, tell that guy to get a hold of me. I sent him a couple of emails after he sent me this stuff, and I was like, hey, I'd like to get in touch with you, man. Maybe he's beyond the ability to get him down here for a show. I don't know. Speaking of our in-studio guest, our special guest here on the Homegrown Show, Jonny Shedron, 17 years old. He's only 17. Yeah, I'm going way back there. I think some of you know. Anyways, Johnny's been talking with us about his musical journey. And again, you've got a lot of stuff on your plate right now because you got a senior year coming up. You got to figure out everything immediately. No room for error. Don't worry, I was 30 when I finally figured out what I want to do, and I'm still not doing that. So, but obviously, a very talented musician is Jonny Shedron. And again, just on July 1st, so just 4 days ago, you released Hombre on all streaming platforms, and you have 3 songs on there. We heard a song called Tennessee Jig, which was really funky. I enjoyed the bluesy style there. And you said you're kind of just soaking in a lot of different things still right now and figuring out how you want to produce your music with it. The next song we're going to hear, let's talk about that. Is it similar? Is it different?
I think it's pretty different. So this is the song called Hombre. Named after the album. All right. Named the album after this. And this was like I don't think this was the first song I wrote, but it was my favorite one. It's the one that everybody loves, you know. So,
let me ask you, what came first, the album or the song? Hombre or the song Hombre?
The song Hombre.
Okay, and so you decided you liked it so much that that's
this is the best one. This is gonna be the whole thing. You know? And this came about. So you ever watch like old cowboy movies?
Oh yeah.
Eastwood, John Wayne, Paul Newman, even good old stuff. So I spent a summer, probably when I was in middle school, whatever. And I watched with my Uncle Billy a bunch of those old black and white, old cowboy movies. And I loved them all. You know, they were just amazing. And the one that I really loved the most, it was Hombre with Paul Newman. And it was just like, that was such a good movie. And like, there were so many like cliche things in there, you know, but like, they still stuck out as like awesome, you know. And it's like good guy wins, you know. It's like cool slogans, gunslinging, you know. It's like,
you want to say how rare it is for somebody your age to enjoy old westerns.
It was great. It was like, there was nothing like bad about it. Like, this is amazing, you know. So I was watching that, but I really like, what hit hard is like, I'll never be that cool. So it's because just the aura or whatever that these guys had, you know, of just, you know, just being men, you know, just absolute dudes, you know, just, and like the whole point of Hombre, you know, like the bad guy was some, you know, like Mexican, I guess, and hey, hombre, you know, and it was like, that was the whole shtick of the movie, you know, but like that like stuck. It's like, you know, there's no like hombres anymore. It's like, yeah, there's cool guys, but like there's no new cowboy movie, you know, like besides like Yellowstone, you know, and
there's the one.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have those westerns anymore, those like big, you know, and like I love those, you know. So, and when I was a kid, that's all I wanted to be, was a cowboy. It's like, and like I never had a horse, but I had a cowboy hat and boots, and
no horse but a guitar. Take at least that.
He had to play guitar.
And like even then, like I was singing, you know, like I'd be at my, you know, I was at my mom's wedding, and you know, and I was singing Johnny Cash then, you know, so it was like at 4, you know, so like, but you know, so it was always loved it, you know, always like looked up to that, you know. So it's like when I wrote this song, it's like Mom immediately loved it because, you know, that hit home for her. But like when I realized that like the crowd was liking it too, you know, it's like, this is really working, you know. That's when I really liked the clicks of an album. It was like, cool, you know,
this
really,
is the one you had to, this is the one.
So yeah, like I said, it's called Hombre. Wrote it myself. What else? Yeah, you know, just using cowboy chords. It's nothing fancy, but it's fun.
It's just fun and good.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. Jonny Shedron with an original here called Hombre. Oh. Yeah, I see why that was your favorite, Mom. That is good. That is really, really good. Boy, what a voice, man. What a voice. You know, that's what drew me to you the first time I heard you, obviously, but hearing it close up, hearing it acoustic, hearing it just raw is even more fun for me. By the way, somebody said mad talent on the guitar, too. I agree. That is Jonny Shedron. That's an original. That's Ombre, and that is a part of what you can find on all streaming platforms now. Just look up Ombre. Hombre. Jonny Shedron. Jonny.
Yes.
I learned that one too.
Yeah, that was Mom's decision. That's like probably the worst one she's made. She gets like one strike.
You get one. Yeah. Okay, that's the only strike then. That's probably the only one that you're going to get, Mom. We're very excited to have Jonny in studio again. He's from Millersburg, Ohio, but he does have some local flavor here. They are in studio with us. I do appreciate Ben and Buffy being here. Thank you guys very much for putting this in motion. Because I know the last time he was here, we talked, and I said, I'd love to have him on the show. And I mentioned it to you, Jonny. I said, love to have you on the show. But you said, well, when is it? And I'm like, it's on Saturdays.
Yeah.
And John's like,
we'll see.
Play a lot on Saturdays for money.
Yeah, need that.
Listen, let me give him some gas money when he leaves. How about that, at least? Something like that. I do appreciate that. We're here on the Homegrown Show, folks. We've got about 40 minutes left. I want to get in a couple more songs by some other artists, and I'm extremely excited to hear another one from Jonny because we got a special guest as well that's going to help out with that. Speaking of special guests, we had this guy on the second show ever of Homegrown, and this is a guy who played a lot of music as a youngster, played with West Virginia Kids on First for many years growing up. He and his sister played a ton of music for a long time, and we're talking obviously about Kurt Schultes. Kurt has been a busy guy. Kurt's, a professional. He's got a day job. And he is still in love with music, but he had a lot of trouble getting the time to do what he wanted to do with his own stuff. But he just recently finished up another album. He's got a couple of albums out if you want to find him on Spotify. This is from a former album. This is The Great Divide, I believe. But he's got a new one out, and I can't remember what it's called. Oh, gosh, he's going to kill me. Kurt, send me a message if you hear this, buddy. Let me know what the new CD is called, because I feel like I'm not doing you justice by giving you the opportunity. Live Free or Die. Never mind. Live Free or Die. Got it. Live Free or Die. That just came out yesterday, July 4th. And so if you're looking for Kurt Schultes, go to Spotify or any of your platforms and look for him playing out and about as well. This is a very interesting song from Kurt. He's definitely a different artist. Records and produces all of his own stuff. All of it. Does all the music, all the instruments, all the production, all the post-production. This one's called Burn the Boats.
I've landed in the promised land, reached the shore with calloused hands, and I'm alright. Arms are sore from where I rode, lost at sea, my bearings go, but I'm alright. Oh, I'm alright tonight. Oh, I'm alright tonight. I've never been higher, so then why don't I see things any clearer? don't I just run away, but I'm alright. Oh, I'm alright tonight. I have never been higher. So then why don't I see things any clearer? Things have never been brighter, but the end's not nearer. Now I'm on the ropes, so I guess I'll burn the boats. So I guess I'll burn the boats. Oh, I guess I'll burn the I'm alright, I've always had it handled. 'Cause I can't quit once I light that candle. Oh, That was a fast ending I wasn't prepared for. Sorry, folks. That was Burn the Boats by Kurt Schultes. We were having a conversation about Kurt while we were off the air there. I do appreciate you guys for tuning in. It's been a great evening talking with our special guest, Jonny Shedron, 17 years old, from Millersburg, Ohio. We came into contact with him at a show down at Folklore, found out that he had local contacts here with Ben and Buffy, who are with us. They are out of frame if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, but they are in studio, as well as Johnny's mom. We have a full crowd here. And speaking of a full crowd, if you are watching us on Facebook or YouTube, you don't see Jonny Shedron. Well, you see him kind of in the corner there now, I can see. But you see somebody else here. And I tell you what, I said it right off the bat. Apparently, the DNA is musically inclined in the Shedron family, because we've got younger sis here. Grace is joining us now. Now, Grace, how old are you first? Number one, how old are you?
13.
13 years old. I saw Grace jump up during the show that Jonny played at Folklore. And I looked over at Ben and I said, "Who the heck is this?" And he said, "Younger sister." Younger sister. Jonny was 16 when he played there, or 17 maybe. And she was like, "Oh, yeah, obviously you've got the chops as well, Grace." Now, are you as comfortable on the air and in front being interviewed?
Yeah.
She seems to be having a good time in the background at the expense of her older brother. But, Grace, you're also someone who plays music. Let me ask you this. You've got a ukulele with us. Is the uke what you play? Do you play guitar? Do you play any other stringed instruments? What is your journey like as a youngster?
So I play percussion in my band, and
Wait! In your band?
in my school band.
Oh, I thought she already built a band. I'm sorry.
No, there's not enough people that would willing to do something like that.
So you play percussion in the school band. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I play a tiny bit of piano, but I'm not that good at it because, I'm not. And then I play like tiniest bit of guitar. Like I know a song, but Johnny plays it, so I'm not allowed to play it.
He's earned the rights to that, is what you're saying? Hey, 2 more years, he's going to be out of the house. It's yours.
And then I just played this also.
Okay, so obviously you're pretty good at stringed instruments. When did you start playing the ukulele?
So in 4th grade, my music teacher pulled out a bunch of little tiny ukuleles, and she just gave them to us. And then she was like, "Okay, now I'm gonna teach you the C chord." Like in like the voice that she like teaches toddlers or something. It annoyed me. And she was like, "You just put your finger on the 3rd fret." And then the next year in 5th grade, she brought them back out, but no more baby voice. It was more like
It was just you.
And then I started just randomly fiddling with it because she told us not to, and I still did because why not? It's a ukulele. I don't have one of these. And I
The
want
younger
one.
sibling, rebellious.
Yeah.
And I just started going like that, and then she's like, "Those are real chords." Really?
So maybe she was born with it in her system, Johnny. That's what we're saying. Okay, how about the singing part of it? Have you always been a singer? Really?
No. John used to make fun of my singing when I was little. He used to go, "You suck."
I didn't stop. Play the song.
It's the greatest thing in the world to have 2 siblings in here just going at it.
I was very supportive.
You went, "You're not."
Okay, so let me ask you this, Grace. What are you going to be singing for us here tonight?
It's a song called Riptide. It's by Vance Joy.
Okay. I know the
one-
song, obviously.
So someone told me it was apparently the hardest song to learn, but I think it's pretty easy because it's 3-4 chords.
Okay.
3.5, I guess, because you only play one of them like twice.
3.5 chords.
And then yeah.
Have you ever heard the statement 3 chords and the truth? That's before your time. Anyways, yeah, sometimes it only takes 3 chords or 3.5 chords to play a good song.
I was really surprised because I thought it would be harder, but then I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, that's nice. I don't have to learn that much." Because I always liked the song Riptide, but yeah, I just didn't learn it until like 5th grade. Like I learned it 2 months before the talent show, and I still play at the talent show. And then I played it at the talent show last school year, a couple months ago.
Can I assume you won the talent show?
I won the singing portion.
Who in the world else could have won that thing?
This girl who pushed the little keys on the piano.
Okay.
Oh. I'm gonna start a battle here. Hope that
She was
girl's
actually
not
pretty
watching.
good. She was actually pretty good, honestly.
Okay,
She
okay.
was really good.
He's very good.
I was just saying, I hope she's not watching this. Like, what? I didn't think I could there. All right, so this is Jonny Shedron's younger sister, Grace.
Hold on. He's my brother. I'm not his sister.
So we were having that
I'm
conversation.
more important.
Okay. Johnny is this young lady's older brother. This is Grace Shedron, and this is Riptide.
Okay. Do I start?
Anytime you want.
Hold on.
You got it.
Hold on. I'm scared to dance in the dark. I'm scared to pity 'cause I'm starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. Got the magician doors to stone their dreams. I love you when you sing the song, yeah. shelf favorite you've ever seen. No, they put it down to me. It's hard, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your living man. I love you when you sing the song. Yeah. I got up in my throat 'cause you can sing way down. They run it down to me. It's hard, taking away to the dark side. I wanna be your living man. I love you when you sing the song. Yeah. I got up in my throat 'cause you can sing the words wrong. Yeah. I got up in my throat 'cause you can sing the words wrong.
Mom, you all right over there? Goodness me. Grace Shedron. Grace Shedron. Listen to that name, who doesn't have her own band but is in the band and plays and sings, as well as the guy who she brought with her, her older brother, Johnny. Fantastic. Fantastic stuff. I tell you what, I see her and she's funny and she's very giggly, and then all of a sudden she starts playing and it all changes.
Snap serious.
It snaps very quickly. That voice comes out. Yeah, I bet you Johnny wishes he had that voice. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. We're very happy here on the show to be joined by Jonny Shedron, and now Grace, his younger sister. I should say he's her older brother. And Mom Otto back there beaming with pride. Also, Ben and Buffy over here just having a good time watching these guys play. They told me about the two of you when I first got there to Folklore and listened, before I even heard a song of yours. They both saw me and said, you got to wait till you hear this guy. Wait till you hear these two. Yeah, very happy that you guys got them involved here. Thank you so much, Grace, for playing a wonderful song there. And, boy, she's only 13.
Yep.
Johnny's only 17. Took me forever to learn a song. I was just thinking about that. It's like, man, I got started late compared to the group of you guys. What do you think about that, Johnny? Obviously, she's your sister, so there's that. But it's got to be fun to see her do stuff
really
like that.
It is. Like, I couldn't do that at 13.
Yeah.
At all. Like, that's where I was just getting started, you know. And so I'm very proud of her, you know, and I critique her for sure. Because, like, I don't want her making the mistakes I made, you know. And in that aspect, you know, I haven't.
Fumbling through some stuff early.
Exactly. You know, so, like, I do my best to, like, poke that out. So, because I didn't have any of that. Like, I had to stumble through it, you know. Like, it's like, I had, like, Uncle Ryder, like, hey, try this, you know, and it was great, you know. So, I had support, but no one from the start, you know, who was like, here's what you got to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I do drag her to gigs, and I give her, like, a little, you know, something to, like, keep her interested. So, you know, and, like, the more songs she learns, like, I get more proud. And I do let her play guitar, just not at my gigs. But, no, like,
There'd be no upstaging.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I am so proud of her. But, and because she could be better than me if she learned more, you know. And I just wanted to learn more.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you gave her the opportunity to play, Johnny. We're going to talk about your future. No, we talked about what's coming up immediately, but we're going to talk about what you want to do with music and where you're going next and all that stuff here in a bit. We've got a couple more songs by some local artists we want to play, and then we've got one more song coming up from Johnny. Before we do, though, this is a good buddy of mine who spent a lot of time playing a lot of gigs in Morgantown, West Virginia when he was in college. Pretty sure I taught the kid how to play guitar to begin, but he took it way past what I could ever do. Then he got married, got a family, went down to Tennessee, produced an album a few years back, right before the COVID, and then went away from it again and came back just recently to put out another album. And this is a really, really interesting album. It is certainly not like what I remember from him. Don't care. It's a lot of fun. And this is Cam Wilson, and this song is called The House of Joes.
Living in the house of Joes, defining everything you know. Don't worry about to take its toll. So do what you do and grow. You got it, buddy. Survive in the house of Joes and every little thing we know. Believe it, baby. We're all about to lose control after living in the house of Joes. You see it, maybe. Been fighting some addictive behavior. Need to take some time to come to grips. I'll see you later. Day by day it's gotten greater. As discipline depleted, couldn't do myself any favors. Just peacocks and dreams, peacocks and fiends of generations that came before me. Forget about receipts and the image that you keep. What you are is what you feed. Agree? Like living in the house of Joes, defining everything you know. Don't worry about it. It's all about to take its toll. So do what you do and grow. You got it, buddy. Survive in the house of Joes and every little thing we know. Believe it, baby. We're all about to lose control after living in the house of Joes. You see it, maybe. Took years to come complete with this depiction. Now I need prescription for living through the fiction. Resurrect my intuition. Steady, focused on the mission. Pray to God with all conviction. So who are we kidding, eh? And who are we? And who are we to you? I can't believe you lost your way. Oh yes I do. Cause what a man go through ain't easy. And who are we kidding, eh? You know we know. You know it ain't for us. Because you lost the trust. Love is not enough. Bond gets full of rust. Enough is enough. Living in the house of Joes, defining everything you know. Don't worry about it. It's all about to take its toll. So do what you do and grow. You got it, buddy. Survive in the house of Joes and every little thing we know. Believe it, baby. We're all about to lose control after living in the house of Joes. You see it, maybe.
A little bit of Cam Wilson for you. And like I said, you know, Cam was always a singer-songwriter style guy. And even in the previous album that he had, it was still a little singer-songwriter. They had some branch-out stuff. But this album is so much different. It's called Blessed Man. I hope you guys look it up. It's on all of your streaming audio platforms. And he's got a bunch of very different music, and I enjoy all of it. So Cam Wilson, local kid from Roane County, from Spencer. Knew him since birth, pretty much. So good stuff with that one. It was very interesting. Jonny Shedron's with us, and he was like, that's very elevator music-y. I said, yes. I don't know if is there an actual genre of music called elevator?
I guess yacht rock, maybe. I don't know. Like,
I'm going to tell Cam about that. He's like, no, I didn't want yacht rock on there. Nah, it's all good stuff. Speaking of guys who have been on my show, I didn't get Cam yet. I am going to have him on a show in the future. Obviously, the next time he gets a chance to come back to West Virginia. He's got a lot going on right now down there, and so he's not got a chance to. This guy spends some time up here. He's been able to come back a few times. He was my third guest on the HomeGrown show last year, one of my better friends. And this guy, Bill Higgs is his name, has been living down in Asheville, North Carolina. We call it Ash Vegas. It is a great music scene down in Asheville. And Bill, another one of those guys who I met long ago and didn't play any music but sang and picked up the guitar. I helped teach him 3 chords, and he took off and was way better than I ever thought of. He had a band for a while down in Asheville called Bull the Barker. Also, a member of that band was was Eric Barker, who was here just a few weeks ago for the Homegrown show. And Bill has been working a bunch. He's got a kid, and so he's taken some time away from music, but he's starting to try to get back into it a little bit on his own. And he came in the studio, and then he produced this song in my production room back there. I'll show you that at some point, Johnny. It's certainly not very good. I'll tell you that. It's nothing that you get excited about seeing, especially if you've been in a studio already. Yeah, this thing is, it's a really tiny space, really small, with one mic. Even on one mic, though, I want to tell you guys, Bill Higgs produced this song. This is called Back to Me.
When I tell you that I love you, meaning more every day. When I tell you that I need you, and I want you to stay. Now you tell me how you're leaving. There's only one thing I can say. I want you coming right back to me. Right back to me. Right back to me. Now I'm calling 'cause I'm bleeding, and my heart is black and blue. And tell you all the things I feel, but your line keeps ringing through. Only message, and I'm leaving. And I hope it gets to you. I want you coming right back to me. Right back to me. Oh, I said right back to me. Now this restless wind got you stirring, keeps you from the love your name. And baby, still your pride. No more lonely nights. I want you by my side. Oh, I want you coming right back to me. Want you coming right back to me. Right back to me.
That right there, my good buddy Bill Higgs. And right back to me, that's an original. Bill is down in Nashville still working and hopefully playing music and hopefully continuing to maybe write a little bit. As the kid grows up a little bit, obviously, he's got to take care of the kid and, you know, all that good stuff. So, but a good song by Bill nonetheless. He produced that and recorded that right in our studio here at WVRC. Homegrown is the show. The guest is Jonny Shedron from Millersburg, Ohio. I got it wrong one time earlier, and I've said it so many times that I have not messed it up since then. Jonny, you're 17 years old. You've been playing music only for 5 years of your existence. You've been gigging, though, now already for a good amount of time, 3 years, basically. 2.5, 3 years. We talked about what's next for you, obviously. You got to get through your senior year, maybe college, maybe the military, maybe going to work, maybe doing whatever. You still haven't decided on that. But I want to ask you, as best you can, formulate what's coming next for you musically. Number one, what's next for you as far as shows are concerned? I know that you're a very busy guy. I'll give you a chance to talk about the shows that you got coming up. And then I wanted to know what you think is coming in the next 2 to 3 years musically for you.
Yeah, so, okay, next show's coming up. I'll be at the Hotel Millersburg, the Tavern, this coming Friday, right? Man, and
He's looking at his manager back there.
Momager.
Momager.
But, yeah, I'll be at the Cider Press. So, yeah, a lot more local stuff coming up. So I'm excited for that. But, you know, musically, so with the guitar, I'm learning more and more songs. I'm trying to fill requests. I'm really excited for the Black Walnut Festival.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for that. Like, really excited. Actually, you know, I have more equipment now that I'm just ready to blast on the street. And have Folklore Pizza when that comes up.
Okay.
That'll be the Saturday of the festival. And, but yeah, no, I've just been learning more songs. There's requests I want to fill. You know, it's like, I say, I take requests if I know it. And, like, that's, it gets a laugh, but it's always like.
That's a tough thing to do when you put it out there. Like, I'm taking requests.
Yeah, if I know it.
Of the 70 million songs there are.
Right, exactly. It's like, sometimes I can fill it, and it's really cool. You know, it's like, you know, like Zach Bryan, it's like, oh, yeah. You know, but it's when it's like stuff like, you know, Tom Petty, it's like, not yet. It's like, but, you know, it's stuff I really want to play. And I have this whole list of, like, need to learn songs. It's got, like, Don Williams. It's got Tom Petty. It's so much, dude. So much. Oh, they're here. There's live music. Oh, he's young and incredible. You know, it's like, that's the effect I try to get in most places. Yeah. I'm not selling tickets yet, you know. But
maybe someday.
Maybe. Who knows, you know. Lord willing. But yeah, music still, though, trying to just get good at everything. I'm trying to learn to read music with piano.
Yeah.
I love playing piano, but I realize my goal is to teach music. I said that earlier, but I don't know if on air, but I really want to teach music. And, you know, piano is the heart of music. You know, everything goes back to that. And I took a theory class at my high school. It's really beautiful.
Yeah.
How much is just, it's, I see why people like math, because it's like, it's so structured, you know, but with music, you know, that art of how structured it really is, it's just beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. And so, but no, teaching, but no, I play trumpet in my band, and I'm pretty good, but I'm just trying to get better, you know? Like, the dream that's never gonna happen is, you know, the dream is, I want to march Ohio State.
Really?
I would love to do that, but that's crazy expensive tuition, so we'll see. But I would love to do that. But, you know, that's always been like, I'm playing trumpet, I'm going to march in the Ohio State band. But
well, I do love that you're open to many things when it comes musically. When it comes to your future, obviously you've got some outlines of goals. Yeah, you got some dreams. Sure. Obviously, it seems to me like no matter what happens in your life, music is going to be an integral part of your life. And I tell you what you're doing right now as a young man is you're producing and playing music for the masses, and we really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And that's all it's about, is if you're able to get up on stage and you're able to play and you get a reaction from people, that means everything. So it's been a wonderful time talking to you. I got one more song I want to ask you to play.
Yeah,
so
please.
We're looking forward to this. Is it going to be another original?
Yes, it is.
Okay, going to be another. Is this one off of Ombre, or is this a different one?
Yes, this is Same albums on them. But, oh, one more thing with the future. I'm trying to get a lot more in my church with music.
Okay.
Because I think that's really important. I wasn't pushed into music at all. It's something I wanted to do, but something that was pushed on me was playing at my church. And I didn't want to do it because I was used to performing, you know? And I was like, you don't perform at church, you play at church.
Yeah.
You know? It's like that's when the focus is on God, you know? And I was really nervous with that. And but my mom really did push. That's the one thing that she pushed me to do. And I was really glad I did, because like everybody on the team was great, talented.
Yeah.
And they, you know, were fine with my talent. You know, they really enjoyed having me. But like that first time on stage, where it wasn't my attention, you know, and like that was that form of worship there. That was beautiful too. So I'm just trying to get more established, like on stage for me, and like, you know, bars and wineries, you know, but then on stage on Sunday.
Wonderful.
It's so important too. So yeah.
That'll be a wonderful thing that will last for a long time for you.
You know? So it's like I have it. It's like I need to get it back.
I did ask Johnny earlier. I was like, listen, if I forget to say anything or ask anything, make sure you bring it up. And that's one of the most important things you could bring up for us. So thank you for the time, obviously, Johnny. Thank you for bringing the music to us. It's Ombre. It's 3 songs on all of your streaming audio services that you can find. Look up Jonny Shedron. It is Jonnny Shedron. Jonny Shedron. And I'm going to let you bring us out with your final song.
All right, here we go. This song's called Whiskey and Dogs. And bit of an introduction. Wrote this on the street, Millersburg. I was outside the ice cream shop in Millersburg. And I kind of was making it up as I go. It's like, I just want something of my own that sounds good. And so I used, be real, I ripped off Bob Seger. Ripped it off. So I ripped this off. Not completely, but that's where the inspiration hit. And so I was trying to do that. So I was like, I need words to that. And so I came up with something cliche, whiskey and dogs. I was like, everybody has that, you know? So, but it morphed into something that you know, touched me. Oh, there goes my pick.
Oh, no.
So as I get this out,
listen,
thank you.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you a second, because if anybody has ever lost a pick down the sound hole,
there it goes.
Oh, he got on the first try? There's no way you got that on the first try. Listen, right there he is. There is an MVP move by Ben right there. Wow.
Do that. You can just do it twice as fast.
Dude, I've gone on like 20 minutes trying to get him out there before.
No, when I first started, first time I did that, it's like, it's going to take forever. But no, it's great. But no, it's that second verse that hit home. Because my dad, you ever hear like dad lore? You know, your dad was way cooler than you'll ever.
Oh, yeah.
Especially at your age. And it's like, all my uncles have it. It's like, they did some crazy stuff that mom would shoot me dead for, you know? And I'm hearing all this, like, you were crazy. And he's like, yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't. You know, like, he regrets it so much, but it's like, me looking at it, like, looking up to that, like, this is my idol, you know, wow. And he regrets so much of it. It's like, you know, all like the cliche things that he did, it's like looking back, it's like, oh, it was no one's fault, but it's like, it's all back on you.
Yeah.
You know? And like, this next steps are affected by that, you know, so it's like, kind of more into that, but at the same time, this is the most cliche song you'll probably see. So yeah, here we go. This is called Whiskey and Dogs. Yeah, hope y'all like it. Here we go.
Seems like whiskey and my dogs are about the only thing I got going on. I know that's sad to say, but that's not my fault. 'Cause I had a little lady a little while ago, won my heart, she sold her my soul. I wish I knew how, that's not my fault. 'Cause all I did was play on this old guitar, playing in the same old broken down bars. And I know that's sad to say, but hey, that's not my fault, no. Well, my daddy died a little while ago. I'm not talking about his heart, I'm talking about his soul, he just lies around and talks about them good old days. But I'm being real with you, those old days weren't good to him at all. Cause all he did was play on the soul guitar, played in the same old broken down bars. I know that's sad to say, but hey, that's not his fault. Well, it seems like whiskey and my dogs are about the only thing I got going on. I know that's sad to say, that's not my fault. Because I had a little lady a little while ago. She won my heart, she sold her my soul. I always knew she had the devil in her eyes. They use that soft, sweet voice as her disguise. Well, all I did was play on the soul guitar, played in the same old broken down bars. I know that's sad to say, but hey, that's not my fault. I know that's a real cliche, that's probably my fault.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jonny Shedron. Johnny, thank you for coming in. Thank you to your mom. Thank you to your sister. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I appreciate you guys coming all the way from Millersburg, Ohio, to join us. We look forward to seeing you at the Black Walnut Festival in Spencer, West Virginia, folks. The next time you can see him close, the Walnut Festival. He'll be on the street busking, but he'll also be at Folklore. Make sure you follow them. We'll share that on WVRC. Great stuff, Johnny. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Another episode of Homegrown, folks. Make sure you tune in and follow us on Facebook, YouTube. You'll find out when the next show is. I can only hope that someone shows up in August before I get busy. That's all I know. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in here. Make sure you share, like, and comment on these videos. We do appreciate everything that you guys have for us. That'll do it for us here tonight. This is Drew signing off.
This oral health information comes to you courtesy of Brandon Dental, located on Hospital Drive in Spencer, West Virginia. Dental health professionals are often asked about the cause and remedies for bad breath. Bad breath can be the result of tobacco